Dum dum. There we go. Hello, everyone.
Yes, we are live.
Hey,
We are live. So let's jump straight into it, shall we?
Yes. So tonight it's a very special episode because every guest interview episode is special. It's even more special to me because I'm happy to welcome one of my friends from my masters at Rotterdam School of Management. Bas, we studied together. We did a strategic entrepreneurship degree together, and I'm really happy that I have you here as a fellow entrepreneur because we studied for it and we made it. Let's say we made it to become entrepreneurs because of course not all people from our masters went this pathway, right?
I think very few indeed. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Bas is an owner of a web design and development agency. He creates really high quality websites. I have seen his projects on his Instagram, and on a couple of occasions he advised me when it comes to web design, which I'm really grateful for.
Secret advisor.
Yeah, he mainly serves tech startups and big enterprises. Probably the most, let's say, the most prominent works of yours are for Walmart and Michael Kors, right? Like the biggest brands
Yeah.
of the projects
Michael
that you've done.
Kors, Tommy Hilfiger, and Walmart indeed.
Yeah. So really big brands already, like 1.5 year after graduating from RSM and starting his own web design business, he's already playing with the big boys, let's say. Okay, so let's kick off with our questions. So maybe Zain, would you like to ask first question to our guest?
Sure. We always ask our guest this question, and we also started our very first episode with this question. Where I remember when we first started, we always ask this. It's all about like why. So, Bas, why start a business? Why can't you just work? Why? Why start a business?
Yeah, good question. Well, first of all, thanks for having me on the show, of course. Like, why start a business? Like, to be honest, I sort of rolled into it. So I never set out to start my own business. For me, it all started at university, like the previous one in Eindhoven. And there I sort of picked up web design and sort of web development as a hobby. And I just started making stuff. So I just started designing websites, flyers, posters. And after a while, I thought it would be cool to sort of post them to Facebook groups, to Instagram, to sort of get likes. And from there on, I got my first client. So my first client was like a friend of mine. I did some websites for him. And from there on, I sort of got more clients. So that's sort of how I got into, let's say, business and entrepreneurship. And yeah, I guess why not a job? I just prefer sort of the freedom, of course, and also the fact that you can just do sort of whatever you want on your own schedule. I did take a job for like a little while. It was a pretty cool job, but I mean, yeah, it got a bit boring after a while. So I prefer how I do it right now, and that's sort of running my own business.
I just want to show people very quickly. I know you showed us a few examples. So these are the websites you created, is it?
Yeah, this is an example of one. So in this case, I did not design it. So we both do design and development, but sometimes we also partner up with agencies that do the design, and then they hire us for the development. So in this case, the design was, the website was designed by a different agency, and we just did like the development.
I see. And the infamous Michael Kors one is this.
Same, also designed by a different designer.
Mm.
I don't know what else you have there. I think the one for Walmart, if you have it up there, that's one that we sort of designed.
Yeah, the one for Walmart is taking a bit of a time to load.
It's pretty heavy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's rendering. It keeps rendering.
Yeah.
This bit.
The
But it's good, you
video.
know,
Yeah.
the websites that you created, like me being somebody who do user experience, I find it very fascinating to see when people design websites, what goes through their heads, how do they design it, etc. It's really good. So nice to look at your website site. Just so nice.
Thanks.
Cool.
Okay, so a question from me, because I remember that when we still studied at RSM, I don't remember that you were that much into web design, but I remember that you were amazing, industrial designer overall. I remember you designed some stuff for projects that we had at the university, and I remember that every time you showcased it, it was like amazing, and everyone was doing this wow sound, right? So I'm wondering what made you, let's say, switch from more like product design to web design. What did you find sexy in web design?
Like, to be honest, there's nothing sexy about it. Just the fact that it sort of got me money and that clients reached out to me instead of me having to sort of market my own stuff. That's like the only reason.
So just to follow on that one, right? So you say clients reach out to you, and I know that for a lot of people who are just starting new businesses, etc., we are trying to reach out to clients. How did you do it the other way around and get clients to reach out to you? What do you think you do differently that enables that?
So first of all, your work has to be like really good, really high quality. And the way I started is just by sharing my work on online platforms. So first client I got from Instagram, sort of personal friends, but also a lot of other clients that I don't know, they reach out to me via Instagram or via like design platforms like Dribbble, Behance. And then the last thing where I got a lot of clients from is in like Facebook groups and forums. So there's probably like a Facebook group in your niche, and I would suggest you would join that, sort of start reading the messages, perhaps write some of your own messages. And once in a while, there's like an opportunity that comes by which you can react on.
Wow. Okay. I have a feeling that we're going to go really, really off script on this one, because you just dropped some really nice strategy and gold in there.
Yeah. So okay, the thing that is, I'm very curious about, how did you land Walmart, Michael Kors, and Tommy Hilfiger? Because I'm wondering what's the, let's say, selection process behind this big brands, big boys.
So basically, those were just through referrals. So again, there's another agency that I work with, and sometimes they hire me and sometimes they refer stuff. So that agency itself works with really high-end clients, and that's how I got them. So it's not like I'm not yet on the radar of like those super big brands myself, but those just happen through referrals.
Okay, but what I see here, it's not only about you providing great quality, but also you being, how I view it, you are a great networker. I mean, in terms of you really clicked when it comes to creating a network that delivers, that gives you word of mouth marketing and gives you clients, right?
Yeah, exactly. But it also comes down to doing really great work and sort of being nice to the people that you work with, constantly like over delivering. So it's not like I'm a extrovert and I'm super good at like networking on a personal level, but I think it's more
Mhm.
because of like the work and service that I provide.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, I really have to go off script because it just triggers so much curiosity inside me, and I think people will. I'm gonna be a bit selfish, but I'm sure people can benefit as well. So, what I keep hearing you say, Bas, is a great thing. Is like we ask you how did you land your client, etc., and you always say you have to produce great work. And for me, only people who are very confident in their work would say something like that. Most people, when they're just starting, they would just say, "Oh, but how can I compete with X? How can I, there's someone else who's doing this already. They're more experienced. They've been doing this for a long time. Why would anyone
Mhm.
come to me? Blah blah blah." But you are very confident in saying that you have to produce great work. And when we ask you how did you land clients, you're like, "Oh, I post this on my Instagram, and I know my work is great." Where did that confidence come from? What makes you confident in your work to make you say that I know my work is great and this is the quality of work that I
Yeah.
produce?
I mean, there's always room for improvement for sure. And
Mhm.
I'm also not like at the top, but I sort of put in the hours to learn the skills. I watched a lot of courses, YouTube videos, and also from seeing like comparing your work to other people, you can sort of start to see which work is better or is more high quality.
So you base it on your own learnings and observing how other people do their work, and then you just
Mhm.
put in your own insights and to make it better, basically.
Yeah, exactly. So also when I sort of improved my craft, so to say,
Mm,
design wise, I sort of always looked at the high end stuff on like Dribble. That's like a sort of a showcase for designers,
mm.
like the really high end stuff. And yeah, you just know like once you sort of get or are matching that level, then you know you're sort of getting great at it.
Wow. Okay. That is that is good. I'm just curious
Yeah.
because I'm sure there are lots of people who are like, oh, I know to produce great work, but what does great work actually mean? So yeah, insightful.
Yeah.
Insightful. Dan, you have any questions?
Okay, so yes, because we are really discussing about this amazing stuff, and we are talking about the, let's say, the bright side of what's happening in your business, but maybe some insights about let's say dark side. So
Mm.
what are the challenges that you're facing? What doesn't let you sleep at night?
Yeah, to be honest, not that much. I don't have a lot of obligations. So there's not that much that keeps me up at night, to be honest. Sometimes there are some problems that are or projects that are a little bit more troublesome. For example, like a difficult client. But there's not really anything that sort of keeps me up at night. Perhaps like the workload
Mhm.
some months, but yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
s- because I believe that it's more or less the same with you as it is with me, that we have really low fixed costs. So when it comes to, let's say, I don't know, if it happens to us that we have a really bad month, we don't have many obligations to like cover,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but
It's probably
so
like
so,
200
so
euros or
how
like 300 euros in software, and that's it basically.
Okay, okay, yeah.
Mm.
So, oh, by the way, good to mention that BAS is an official partner of Webflow, which is one of the major platforms for creating websites. And if you message him, maybe he can get you some
I will message
discount.
you, Bas.
Yeah,
I
sure.
will message you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, so how, because you also employ people, right? How I understand it, you work in a team.
Well, that's something I sort of started doing recently, because there's just too much to demand for websites to sort of take that on my own. So I started hiring some other freelancers indeed to sort of help with some projects.
Okay, so they are not like on any, let's say, fixed terms with you. They are just like, okay, there is a project, you come on board, we work together, and then in case I don't need you anymore, you go, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So how do you, because I work with graphic designers for social media stuff. Right now I have one graphic designer that I'm working for over half a year now. Relatively happy with our working together. But I wonder, how do you, because they technically, they come as, let's say, so they come as freelancers on your project. So how do you, let's say, balance between, them, obeying your, let's say, leadership on a project, and then their, let's say, ego? Because I know that some freelancers, when when you start managing them a bit, the ego wakes up and is trying to fight it. So how do you manage the projects in terms of people?
Yeah, I mean, like, so far the freelancers that I've worked with are all really eager to sort of learn, so that definitely helps. And I'm also very open to learn from them. So if they're doing something different, perhaps using a different system to build websites, I'm also very eager to learn from that. In terms of management, yeah, I'm quite loose in that regards. And if something is not really up to my standards or the way that I would do it, I sort of typically try to get on a call with them and sort of explain them how I do it, or like train them to sort of get to that same level. And might take, like, in my experience, it might take like a couple of calls to get them where they need to be. But it sort of works. It's better than just trying to correct them all the time and being super negative or like strict about it.
No, like I fully agree. It's just the problem that, sometimes, I had, let's say, two experiences with social media managers who worked for me. So one of them, she so both of them were not so comfortable with getting loads of ownership and independence in their work. And that's what I wanted. I give you your work, you do your work. I don't want to micromanage you. I don't want to supervise you, because I don't have time for that. I'm employing you so that I have more time for something else. So, I had one person who was really fine with taking ownership, with being independent. And then I had another person who, when I gave her a bit more ownership, a bit more responsibility, independence, she was like, oh, I cannot really handle it, and she quit. So
Yeah.
So to some extent, it really holds me at the moment from hiring someone to help me, because I'm really afraid of a situation when I will be, trying to, educate someone, let's say, train someone first, because you need to train someone for at least for 1 week, 2 weeks, so that they can start working with you. And then it turns out that they are not the right person, So that's one of my problems. But I would like to go back to the bright side of your business. But before that, I will ask last question when it comes to the dark side of your business. So, can you think of the worst day, week, month, period of your of your entrepreneurial journey, and if something like that happened to you, how did you handle it? How did you turn the situation around so that it became so that your situation became great again?
Yeah, this might sound as like a luxury problem, but it's actually like taking on too much work, and then just having to work from 8 a.m. to like 12 p.m. or something, or 12 a.m. And yeah, there's one solution, and that's just to work through it. So
Okay.
He's just like, this is just action oriented, right? Let's just not complain about it. Let's just go through it and just get it done.
Yeah, and like learn from it, and like learn from it how to better plan projects, and also sort of know your limits of how many projects you can take on at the same time.
I've also follow-up question on that one. So when we were preparing for this, I know that you mentioned something around your goal is to stretch to 100k euros per month, right? Massive goal, and it's very, very impressive goal that you set yourself, which is like very good to see. But one thing you also mentioned is that your way of trying to get there is to find mentors and learn from someone who has walked that path before. And I love that idea because I have a similar sort of way of thinking, which is if I want to do something, I would just spend money to learn from someone who can accelerate that process rather than me trying to work it out. So for example, investing is one of those things that I learn about how to do it. And then people say, oh, why do you spend so much money learning all these things? I'm like, because these people have done it and they can show me how to get there quickly. But most people don't get it. They just see that you have to spend money on things that you can learn on YouTube, on books or whatever. But when I see the answer of yours, I'm like, I wonder what your thinking process is. Like, why would you pick learning from a mentor or someone who has walked that walk before as a strategy to help you to scale to your next goal?
Yeah, like I typically, I also am sort of the sort of type of person that just says, I can pick it up for free on the internet or from a course, but I've just realized that it doesn't work for me. It's not because the courses are bad or not great. It's more like, yeah, how do you call it? I need someone to sort of set some goals for me so I can actually deliver on that. I lost the word for how it's called.
It's not your learning style, basically.
Accountability. You need accountability.
Accountability, exactly. Yeah, that's the right word. And I sort of have the feeling, which I mean, I'm gonna find it out, but I have the feeling that if I pay someone for like one-on-one coaching, there's a lot more accountability from my side, and I will actually follow through on what they're telling me to do.
Because you now got someone who is on your back saying, you said that you're going to do this. Why aren't you doing it? And then you're like, I don't know. Okay, I love that answer. I love the answer.
Okay, so let's go back to the bright side. Tell us about your happiest, most exciting moment of your entrepreneurial journey so far.
Yeah, I mean, first one was definitely at the point where I sort of realized that by doing something I loved, I sort of made a decent amount of money. So I always had the feeling that going to school was sort of it gave me time to sort of work on my skills and actually like make money of it, sort of like that. Another one was actually like getting or like realizing that or not realizing, like the other one was the fact that a lot of people started seeing your work, like for Walmart and Michael Kors. I mean, those sites have been viewed by over 2 million people, so that's really cool and like a highlight. And then like the third one was like buying my dream car that I always wanted with the money that I earned myself. It was really cool.
Wow.
Yeah. So I know that you didn't mention the dream car thing in your answers to our questions. So I really wanted to ask you about it, but you came forth with it, because of course I didn't tell Zain. So maybe and also our viewers. So maybe share with us what's your dream car that you bought for yourself.
Yeah, well, my dream car was always like a Nissan GTR. I think I built it as like a model car when I was 15 or something. And then at my previous job, they sort of gave me like a free ride in one. It was super cool. So that's just been my dream car. And like 2 months ago, I saw like a really nice one in Belgium. So drove to the dealer and sort of just bought it within a couple of days.
But okay, but did you do it with like a bank transfer, or did you play like big ballers style, like you came with the suitcase full of cash and just here, take it?
No, just the bank transfer.
Okay, but small funny digression about that, because you said that when you were 15 you assembled the model of GTR, right? And now you bought GTR and you are 25, 26 right now?
24, almost 25. Yeah.
Oh, almost
Fucking
25.
hell.
Okay, so let's assume 10 years later. So last weekend I assembled this McLaren Senna. So in 2031, expect me to buy my McLaren Senna.
Cool. I'll come visit you.
Wow.
Okay. Let's move on. Zain, would you like to ask a question, or should I? Should I shoot?
I'm still
Okay.
amazed that she's like, oh, I'm only 24. I'm like, oh my god. But it's very good. It's very inspiring to see.
Okay, so actually, this one is one of my favorite questions that we ask to our guests. So, what is the most valuable lesson that you have learned in business that was also applicable in your personal life? Something that, let's say, changed your so something you have learned in business that changed or even revolutionized your personal life in some way.
Yeah, there's nothing that revolutionized my personal life, but what I'm starting to notice more and more, also in other people, is that a lot of people just don't stick with what they're doing. So they start something, and then after maybe a week or after they face some troubles, they just stop with it. And that's something I've noticed for myself in my business. Like really, if you keep on grinding, if you keep on doing what you're doing like every day in and out, then it will show results. So that's sort of my biggest lesson that I've learned, and that I've also sort of taking into account in my personal life.
That's so cool.
Okay, yeah. So that's actually one of the things that I had problem with in the past, like massive problem. Like I couldn't really commit to anything, but I didn't really resolve this problem. I didn't really learn how to deal with it through business. I have learned the same thing through sport. So when I started doing sport like a lot, then I developed this sort of discipline to show up every day, like because I need to.
Yeah, that's like typically with like people that go to the gym, they have a lot more discipline than I would say like normal people, and that also shows when they start to do like business activities.
Okay. Do you do any sports, by the way? Because like me and Zain, we are like big sports fanatics. So just
no,
one of those
not really,
personal.
to be honest.
No. Okay.
No.
Okay.
Still disciplined.
Yeah, still discipline. You don't need so they say that the exception confirms the rule or something like that. Okay, so the last one for today, unless Zain will have any follow-up questions. So one piece of advice from yourself to future entrepreneurs, early entrepreneurs, people who hasn't started their business yet but are still thinking about it, and or maybe people who are just started and they feel like failing. So something to rise their spirits.
Yeah, good question. I would sort of suggest, if you're just starting out or still need to start out, is just pick an area that you really like working in, because everything will come a lot easier. So yeah, whether that's like web design or maybe something else, I would suggest doing that.
Mm.
And also try to look at the people ahead of you. So if you're just starting out, try to look at the people that are making $1,000 a month, for example, and check what they're doing. And then when you're at 1,000, look at the people that are doing 5 or 10. And when you're at 10, look at the people who are doing 100. And you'll probably see that with each jump in like revenue, they have like sort of different skills, or you need to learn different skills and character traits, and then just learn them, follow their steps, and sort of level up in that way.
Wow. Super
That's really
inspiring.
good example, and I agree with that, because I have also learned that I should I think we spoke about it a few times, Zain, on our show, that you should very often some internet gurus, like entrepreneurial gurus, say that if you want to be a billionaire, look it up to billionaires, but first you need to look it up to millionaires, even earlier, 1,000 years.
1,000 years.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, you know what I mean. So yeah, level by level, not like you cannot really shoot for the moon from the very start. Okay, so Bas, thank you very much for participating in tonight's episode. Here is the Instagram profile of Bas. Really cool stuff. I really love all the projects that Bas is doing, because it's so modern, it's so trendy, really high quality stuff. But now let's read Zain's DMs, because I can see that he has unread DMs.
Yeah.
Okay, probably some girls messaging Zain, as always.
No. I have no time for girls. Okay.
Okay. Before we finish, me and Zain, we have a small announcement. Would you like to say that, or should I say that?
You can go for it. Go for it.
Okay. So this episode is episode number 40 of the Newborn Hustlers show. It's been amazing 40 weeks. We have been doing it every week for 40 weeks. That's just wow. Like it shows some great commitment from our side, but at the same time, we feel that we need some, let's say, refreshment time. So that's why we are taking a break from broadcasting every week. The It's for sure that there will be no more shows in December, and we will be back in January. But when it comes to the exact date of our comeback, we will confirm it on our Instagram. In the meantime, it's good to follow us on Instagram, because with me and Zain, we will have more time, so we will commit to creating more content on our Instagram. So we will be still delivering educational value to you, but through Instagram instead of weekly broadcasts. And probably we will come back with some fresh ideas. So stay tuned by following us on Instagram. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram.
There. Yeah, exactly. I think
Yeah.
it's
That's
just
it.
because
Yes.
it's December. It's we need to spend time with our family as well. So we'll take some time to refresh ideas, but we will do a comeback. We will return, and we will do something different, more fun, more information, more educational, and we want to walk the walk as well. So when we say we do certain things, we want to show that we are doing it. You know, the consistency, the perseverance, like Bas just said. So we want to show it. Cool. That's it, I think.
That's it. That's it for tonight. See
Yeah.
you in 2022.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you,
And
Bas.
see you on Instagram. See you on
Cool.
Instagram
Oh,
and see you in
yeah.
2022.
Thanks for having me.
2022.
And enjoy the
and
time with your family.
Yeah,
indeed.
thank you. You enjoy your time with your family, and we wish you all the best with your business. We hope you will get to your goal very soon, and then as quickly as you can, you get to your next goal, you will set a new goal for yourself, and you will get there and there and there and there and there.
Exactly.
Exactly.
2022, we are coming. See you. Goodbye.